Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 22, I believe, for July 16, 2023. If you missed part 1, go check it out. In the meantime, let's continue on with our Ultra member submissions for the week. Let's see what's next.
In the case of pedophilia,
I don't like where this is going.
we are talking about a condition which some people...
Whoa, I can't hear it. That was way too low. Let me make it louder. I might need to up the volume on the stream. The volume was so low. All right, let's go back, can we? All right.
In the case of pedophilia, we are talking about a condition which some people have clearly through no fault or choice of their own.
Stop!
There are various theories regarding the causes of pedophilia. Some experts claim that the causes are neurodevelopmental. Differences in the brain structure of pedophiles have been noted, such as frontocortical differences, decreased gray matter. There's also evidence that pedophiles often have the attraction that they do because they themselves were abused as children. So, pedophilia is likely caused by a variety of neurological causes, as well as environmental and developmental causes related to things like childhood stress and trauma.
Yeah, hi. You should kill yourself?
Attraction is not something that pedophiles can simply will out of their minds. Even with professional help, decades of research has found that pedophilic attraction is not something that can be cured. Rather, therapists have instead turned towards helping pedophiles resist their urges because they realize that they can't get rid of them completely. So, my basic point is this, right? We can only hold people morally responsible for things which they have control over. In the case of desires which people have no control over, while they can be held morally responsible based on how they respond to those desires, we cannot hold people morally responsible for having the desires themselves.
I said you should kill yourself? What you do is sort of unjustifiable? And you know it's unjustifiable? And you don't care?
They can't control their desires.
You're the definition of evil?
Choose to have their desires.
Kill yourself?
And if they haven't acted on their desires, they haven't done anything morally wrong or blameworthy.
Stop!
And so, by no reasonable moral standard can we say that they deserve to suffer.
Kill yourself.
To make this point more intuitive, imagine...
FBI should be knocking on this door any minute now.
Well, I got a couple questions, even just before we even get further in. Number one, who out there is saying, and I'm not even talking just pedophilia, but in general, let's say people have bad inclinations, bad thoughts in their head, okay? So people are saying outright, like, they should be morally wrong for having those. Like, how do you know what's in someone's head to begin with? That's weird to me. Like, so we know, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to say that something's morally reprehensible, usually the reason you know it even exists is because someone has acted upon it, correct? If something is in someone's head, you don't even know it exists. So how can you say something in someone's head as a thought is morally reprehensible unless that person actively chooses to act upon it? And I'll give you an example here, okay? There's some people who have awful, awful, awful thoughts in their head that they can't control. It's not their fault. It's mental illness. And they know these thoughts keep popping up, and they push them to the side. They never act upon them. They don't speak upon them. But it still bothers them because they keep having them. Why do I have these thoughts? They go to psychiatrists, they go to doctors, and, you know, they talk it out. Some of them take medication. You know what I'm saying? Until someone acts upon a thought, how can anyone really, like, judge them for it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like a person is acting, I choose to have these awful thoughts in my fucking head. And, you know, some people are haunted by them. Some people are tortured by the thoughts. I don't want this fucking thought. Why does it keep coming into my head? It's awful. You know, they're mentally unstable because of it. They're saddened. They're depressed. They don't want to live with these thoughts. I would think some people probably end their own lives because they can't get a thought out of their head. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is it morally... Okay, I guess the question is it morally accountable? You're only accountable for something that you act upon and hurts people, right? I think all of us can agree in our lives, and I'm not saying pedophilia, but we've all had weird thoughts. I've had thoughts where all of a sudden I feel like I just want to beat the shit out of someone because I'm angry about something. Did I act upon it? No, I didn't. Is it morally reprehensible to beat someone up? Yes, it is. But I've had the thought, you know. When I was a kid, I used to have some thoughts about, like, for example, you know, and now it's different. But when I was a kid, like, I'd be sitting there in my room and my window's open, right? And it's the middle of, like, a spring day. And and it'd be like a loud ass bird right outside of my window. I'd be like, I'd be angry. Shut the fuck up. I could strangle that bird. And then I would think to myself, why did I just have that thought? Strangle a bird? That's awful. I don't want to strangle the bird. The bird's nice. It's a piece of nature. But in the moment, you have a bad thought of something awful. Should you be held morally accountable because you had a thought like that? You know what I mean? At one point, do the thought police come into play here? And like, I can't just think of something. You should be able to think as long as you realize after the thought occurs, this is not a thought that should continue. This is a thought I don't want to continue. I don't want to act upon it. So just because someone ends up having an awful, disgusting thought or a bad thought that they know is wrong, I don't think that they should be held morally accountable. It's if you continue to entertain those thoughts that you know are going to be harmful to others or even yourself or both, and then you act upon them. That's a completely different story. You see? So I don't even know, like, why do we even need to further the discussion? Like, we don't, like, what is the other 5 minutes of this video? I don't even know why it even needs to continue. Right? Like, that's it. That kind of answers the question. No, you shouldn't be morally accountable just because a thought pops into your head, especially when every thought in your head is not necessarily something that you want to happen in your head. What about a dream? Should you be morally accountable for your dreams? Well, those are technically thoughts in your head, but you didn't control them. They just happen. Even though they're subconscious. Oh, no. You know, morally accountable because something horrible happened in a dream in your head. No. So the answer is no. You shouldn't be morally accountable for everything that pops in your head, but you should have the rationale and the reasoning to say that's not something that should ever be recurring or happening in my head, and I certainly should never act upon it. And if it's something that's stuck in your head you can't get out, you should try to seek professional help to make sure that it doesn't keep happening if you can within reason. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Okay?
Kill yourself.
Fair enough. I don't even need to continue. Like, there's literally no other reason to continue in the discussion. So, okay. On to the next video, which hopefully is more lighthearted than that one. By the way, now I guess I can adjust my levels again, because that video, the volume was really low for some reason. Okay.
Brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer.